4 draws, 3 losses. They find themselves on 19 points at the moment. And on the flip side, Adelaide United seem to be coming into a little bit of form. We saw the the ladder as it was before round 13 before, but even in the live ladder situation, they sit in 5th at the moment. With a win tonight, they will draw for points with Playford City and work themselves a little bit clear of FK Beergrad. Manuel Nicola ends up on the end of that loose ball. It's Monga. Back to Kasumovic. Monga, so it's to go all the way back to Laris Sesko, who was a backup goalkeeper last week. He comes into the starting 11 tonight. For a moment like West Adelaide, we're going to break clear there and take advantage of a loose ball, but it's short-lived. And now Adelaide United with a free kick. Fabian Grelli leaves it for Manuel Nicola. Got a couple of different cases of players with the same surname playing on opposite sides of this fixture today. We've got Liam Stam wearing the number 57 for Adelaide United. Riley Stam in the opposite shirt wearing the number 9. West Adelaide break free. Ivanic just crosses it a little bit far over the top. Jack finds De Oliveira. That's a cross from well out, and Sesko confidently claims it. Just going back to the brotherly pairings that we started to mention before, one that we won't see is Marco Grelli and Fabian Grelli. Fabian Grelli's found himself in the starting 11 for Adelaide United. He's wearing the 75, but Marco Grelli isn't on the bench for West Adelaide tonight, nor is he in the starting 11, so we won't see that little pairing of brotherly love. Five minutes gone on the One World LED and Sportal System scoreboard for all your indoor and outdoor LED solutions. And of course, we thank RAA, official naming rights sponsor of RAANPLSA. Chat to a local who knows you and your team. It's better to be a member with RAA. Back to Fabrizio. Lets it go to Banjak, and he leaves Captain Jackson O'Donnell a little bit of a precarious position, being pursued by Battistella for a moment, but they managed to clear it. And now it's West Adelaide on the break again. James Odenwalder releases the cross, but under a little bit too much pressure from Manuel Nicola. Liam Stam unable to keep it in that instance. Fabrizio goes back to O'Donnell. We mentioned all the changes to Adelaide United ahead of this week, but there's been a couple of players move from the Reds as well, with the A-League season finishing. Going to that in a moment though, as De Oliveira gets involved, following Golan. De Oliveira again. So we find Stam who gets a little flick to it, but an opportunity's wasted in the end. So 3 players released by Adelaide United in recent weeks. Call to action is Sesko. He's got a goal in to try and make something of it. Cross comes in, but there's no one there to receive. It's been a bit of an ongoing tale for West Adelaide attacking as of late. They seem to be able to break forward, but just that final ball thing that seems to be lacking. Simopoulos finds Odenwalder, who plays it back to his captain. Again, I'll revisit the players that have been dropped by Adelaide United. Bailey O'Neill, Panache Madana and Austin Ayubi all released from the Reds. Only a couple of those that usually involved with this young Reds NPL side. But it also means potentially going to see him elsewhere in the league as well, which could make for a difference potentially. Trying to break for a little bit of space at the moment are the Reds. Here's Rahidi who sends it in. There's no one there to receive though, but Stam will pick up the crumbs. Going to get past Oldwater. He does! And that's the first for tonight. Adelaide United find themselves 1-0 away at home. Eight minutes gone. Adelaide United find themselves leading. Get your confirmation of the player who netted it as soon as I can. You may have heard it there, number 62, Fabian Taladera gets Adelaide United off the mark in just the 8th minute. Interestingly enough, last week West Adelaide conceded one really early, even earlier than 8 minutes against Adelaide City. Yuki Kitano scoring in just the first minute, and it sort of meant it was game on for quite early in that instance. Maybe that'll be the case here as well, as Ivanic gets a total whip, but Sesko is comfortable enough to deal with that in the end. Adelaide United starting fast and furious, as they tend to do. Run down the far side from Liam Stam as Battistella was trying to make a little bit of space for himself. Collision will result in a free kick the way of Adelaide United. These teams coming off mixed results last week, with West Adelaide suffering that defeat at home against Adelaide City. Adelaide United could probably consider it a decent result against Playford, 0-0. A really good win against West Torrens Bacalla the week before that, 3-0 at home for Adelaide United. And then Para Hills the week before that, so as we set up the top, Adelaide United seems to be coming into a little bit of patch of form at the moment. But West Adelaide, I'll use that word that I used before, mixed results is the best descriptor. Before that loss last week, there was the win away at Playford, which they might have been thinking was potentially going to be a bit of a turning point. The week before that, closely fought contest here against West Torrens Bacalla, and consecutive draws in the weeks before that against Para Hills and Metro Stars. Meanwhile, on the pitch glass at the moment, Fabian Gorelli is coming to his feet. It's Maluel Nicola and Riyad Rahidi that are presiding over this ball as Rahidi steps off. Fabian Gorelli and Taladera might even want to have a go at this. It's Taladera that goes to Gorelli, and the loose ball's cleared by West Adelaide, but not completely out of danger yet. Nicola will throw it in. And the flag goes up. Final fixture of round 13 of the RAA National Premier League South Australia is this one, and it's another standalone one here at Kilburn Sportsplex. Let's talk a little bit about the other results and how the ladder looks at the minute. It all started Friday night where Adelaide City hosted Sturt Lions. Took away a 4-1 win. That loss to Sturt Lions will favour West Adelaide if they're wanting to climb. Doesn't do Adelaide United any favours. Looking to climb with 3 points tonight. West Torrens-Bacalla got a handy 1-0 win against Croydon. West Torrens-Bacalla, of course, sit top of the table at the moment, so that only works to maintain their current lead. Campbelltown, 3-0 win against a Para Hills side who are really struggling at the moment, so fair to say that was probably expected. Campbelltown currently in 7th spot at the moment, while Para Hills are getting lonely down the bottom on just 1 point. Playford City and Adelaide Comets shared points with a 2-2 draw. So a little bit of a slide in form for Playford City continues to take effect. In fact, they haven't won in the last 5 rounds. 4 draws and 1 loss sees them slowly slipping down the ladder, and they've left the door open for Adelaide United to climb tonight if they do get all 3 points. And finally, yesterday evening, Metro Stars getting a 2-1 win against FK Beograd. So Metro Stars in second. They would have been out of reach of Adelaide United anyway, but FK Beograd with a loss again leave the door open for Adelaide United to climb. Here's Stam. Slip ball through to Monga. That's long actually. Back to Medana, who goes central to Grelly. There's numbers in the box if they can get this cross off, but it's stopped by a wall of white from West Adelaide. 15 minutes now, it's all been one-way traffic with 1 goal to show for it so far, United. Like we said at the start, 3 changes going into this starting 11 for this game have United. Now it's a chance for West Adelaide to create something. Ivanic to Stam. Sesko there comes out and judges it well to claim. Grelly is favoured as the short option, and it goes across to Manuel Nicola. Back with Nicola. Stam racing to get to it, but it'll be a West Adelaide ball. Blazovic gets ahead to it to keep it in a bit of a danger zone for Adelaide United as Grelly goes for a spin. He tried to take De Oliveira with him. And he gives away a free kick in the process. The 2 leading goal scorers so far for Adelaide United's 2026 RAA NPSA campaign are absent tonight on 5 each. Crawford and Garuccio. Alex Battistella would love to add to his total. He's sitting on 4 at the moment. 1 each have Amlani Tattoo, Brody Burkett, Israel Monga, Kasper Kuzman and Luka Blazovic. And meanwhile, Adelaide has had a clear standout so far. Maxim Ivanic, the big target man up front, having netted 9 goals of his own. Riley Stan with 5 to his name. Couple each to Banjak, Golan and Shrestha. Simopoulos, De Oliveira and Grelly each on 1. We only have to look back to round 7 for the last time that these two sides faced each other, and on that instance it was a convincing win the way of Adelaide United. 4-0 with Gruccio, Guzman, Tatu Monga all finding the back of the net. I believe that was a curtain raiser at Cooper's too, if my memory serves me correctly. United go all the way back to Sesko, who bombs it long, but falls to the opposite shirt of James Odenwalder. Fabrizio plays it back to O'Donnell, who decides to bomb it long. Monga, the player to come with the effective header. Nicola finds Stam, plays it on to Battistella. He's got some support arriving. Blazovic gets to it, although under a little bit of pressure. Just manages to keep it in, and Stam sends that cross possibly a little bit far. Nicola looked like a shot from distance, but that's gone towards the stars. 19 minutes in, just that one in the 8th minute to show so far from Fabian Talatira. United to this point set quite the pace for West Adelaide to try and match. West Adelaide, as they tend to be in recent weeks, dangerous on the counter, but just a little bit lacking in that final third at times. Another one that's sent vaguely into the area from Alex Simopoulos, but no one there to make anything of it. Bit of traffic to get through, and they go all the way back to Sesko. He's long, finds Grelly. Stam, a nice little ball onto Nicola. The cross just goes straight into Luca Fabrizio. Now it's West Adelaide launching the counter. Stam it's up with the 1-2 with Shrestha. Nice sliding tackle from Monga to reclaim it. Does give away a free kick though, and a little bit of afters between Ivanic and Monga. Jaden Betterman just having a quick little word to Monga. The referee just letting his expectations be known. This is interesting, just a little bit of a pause in play, and Jackson O'Donnell's getting a little bit of treatment. Diego Dos Santos de Oliveira's come sprinting across the bench and having a quick little chat. He's looking quite animated at the moment. He's giving Alex Simopoulos some pretty direct instructions. Now, meanwhile, Jackson O'Donnell's back on his feet, and it looks like he'll be fine to continue. And Jaden Betterman with a little dash back to West Adelaide's attacking 18-yard box to get back underway. Now, referees just come over to have a quick chat to the assistant. Looks like they've just collected something, so nothing in that. We'll get this back underway in a moment. Bit of tall timber just at the edge of the 6-yard box in Monga and Kusumovic. I've just seen the referee past Monga something, and whatever it is, it looks like it's only about the size of a cigarette lighter, and I think it's passing off as a shin pad. We're back underway. Here's Luca Fabrizio. Back to Banjack. That's with Odenwalder on that left-hand side. Forming that triangle that ends up back with Odenwalder. He's got Ivanic in the moment. He's Shretha. Ball delivered in, but it's intercepted by Adelaide United. Looks like Diego dos Santos de Oliveira not shy to use the physicality in reclaiming that. Back with Odenwalder now. And Fabrizio under a little bit of pressure, goes back to O'Donnell. Ball just a little bit too loose for Ivanic to get onto. Manuel Nicola will throw it in for Adelaide United. Here's Liam Stam. Sends a goal. It sounds like it did hit a deflection on the way in, but managed to find Rahini, who just miscontrolled at the beginning. Now it'll be a throw in for Adelaide United, just on the edge of their defensive third. I want to talk a little bit about Manuel Nicola, because he's been one of the consistent names for the Young Reds in their NPL side this year. Actually, I'll come back to that in a moment, because here's Liam Stam, crossed in. And it's Banjack that gets to it just ahead of Battistella. Not completely out of danger yet, though. Here's Taladira. Yeah, here is Nicola. Back to Stam. He decided to have a shot of his own, but it only goes over the West Adelaide goal kick. So the man we're about to talk about getting a little bit of involvement there, Manuel Nicola, has played 9, started 7 so far during the RAANPLSA season. Just 18 years of age. Former player of Para Hills. And he's also got that in common with Liam Stam, who's also on the pitch at the moment. They continue to be a bit of a factory for these young red players. Do Para Hills, even though at NPL level they're struggling a bit at the moment. Shot from well outside for West Adelaide, and perhaps a little bit ambitious there. Just looking at the ladder situation for Adelaide United youth. With a win today, they'll be able to tie up for points with Adelaide City currently in 3rd spot on 25. So Adelaide United youth currently sitting on 22. They will tie up for points, although that goal difference just a little bit out of reach for them. How huge would that be for Adelaide United youth to be able to get on equal terms with that team currently sitting in third at the moment? Meanwhile, West Adelaide just 13 points at the minute. Their nearest neighbours, Adelaide Comets, on 9 points. Sturt Lions on 15. They had a strong start, Sturt Lions, but they had a bit of a slide in recent weeks. They lost this week. That 4-1 was the margin against Adelaide City. But we're at that time of the year where we're starting to see the ladder form, and there's still a lot of games to be played, but for teams to have to make their way up from way down the ladder makes things really difficult. Stam. Nicola was the target, and despite a furious dash, he didn't get the initial ball, but he did eventually get a touch to it. Putting a bit of a fright into Jackson O'Donnell and James Odenwalder in the process. "28 minutes gone. The One World LED and Sportal System scoreboard for all your indoor and outdoor LED solutions. Round 13 of the RAA National Premier League South Australia. Chat to a local who knows who backs you and your team. It's meant to be a member with RAA. There's Nicola, part of the clean-up crew yet again, but ends up spilling it to West Adelaide. And Luca Fabrizio. Odenwalder feeling the pressure and presence of Long, as does O'Donnell, and they've turned it over yet again. Adelaide United on the charge once more. Shot from distance that just glazes over the top of that crossbar. Opt to head out all the way from the back. Bit of a loose attempt at the cross there, and it will be a West Adelaide goal kick. Now, Max Mivanic is presented for a little bit of a chat with the referee. He's been told rather swiftly to keep it moving. Now, throw coming in from West Adelaide. De Oliveira fancy with the footwork as always, but that ball from Odenwalder loose in the end, but Ivanic does manage to fight to reclaim it. Stam takes a throw in quickly. Ivanic fights again, doesn't give away the free. He's got Shrestha in the middle, plays it to him, and it's 1-1. Keshav Shrestha via the delivery from number 9, Riley Stam. In the 31st minute. We are all locked up. We mentioned it before, how dangerous West Adelaide can be on the bounce, and we've just seen it there. Despite Adelaide United controlling big chunks of the game that we've seen so far, probably fair to say they haven't been as clinical over the last 10 minutes or so, and that's all West Adelaide need to be able to strike back. Nice ball to find Stam. Waiting for his options. Taladera just licking his lips at the edge of the box there for a second, but not able to release it in time. Chip comes over the top. And it's Odemwalder that gets the head to it. Here's Ivanic. This time he's not able to win an arm wrestle. Nice little chip to find its way to Long. And the whistle goes and will be called back for a free kick the way of Adelaide United. So with the first two goals that we've seen tonight, Taladera notches up his first for the year, and Shrestha notches up his third. This is sent in, and it was Ivanic that got the head to it. Here's Taladera again. Found himself loose in a little bit of space and didn't hesitate make Jackson O'Donnell really stretch for it. Looks like in the end, O'Donnell didn't need to get a touch to it to put it over. But hasn't Fabian Taladera been the potent ingredient so far tonight for Adelaide United? He wears the captain's armband tonight. Does Taladera. He's had 10 starts for this reserve side. Almost surprising that his first goal for the season has only come tonight. Just 20 years of age. His Batistella sprinting in to try put the pressure on Jackson O'Donnell. He ends up going out, near West Adelaide throw-in. Keeping that high pressure at the minute are Adelaide United, even from those throw-ins, not giving West Adelaide too much space. Jackson O'Donnell has sent his troops up the pitch, sends along, eventually finds the head of Riley Stam, and a little bit of push and shove that eventually finds Link Blazovic getting a touch to it, but going to ground. Now Jaden Betterman's hand is in a pocket here. Maxim Ivanic is pleading, but it looks like a yellow card's going to go the way of James Odemwalder. And now the card's out. I think we might even see it again. Fabian Grelli looked to want to get the last say and get that last push in, and now Jaden Betterman's pulling him aside. Grelli maybe with a little bit of get out of jail free card here, because at the moment Betterman's going to let him getting away with the talking to. Diego dos Santos de Oliveira has asked for a little bit of please explain, and as does Maxim Ivanic. Either way, the decision is going to stand as it is at the moment, and after all that, it's a yellow card in the way of James Odemwalder. And it's Maluel Nicola to take the free kick. As he sits off and lets Israel Monga play it to Stan. And the whistle goes again as one of the United players goes to ground. Looks like Fabian Grelli, the man who wanted a piece of the action just before. Looks like it's just been called back to the original location of the free kick, and Adelaide United go all the way back to Sesko, who then decides to bang it long. Let's have a little bit of chat about Laris Sesko, the 16-year-old that's been called in on GK duties for Adelaide United tonight. As I said, just 16 years of age. He certainly doesn't have the stature of a 16-year-old. Previously played with Campbelltown in their junior setup before moving across to the FSA teams. In terms of this year, he's had a fair bit of involvement within the reserves team for Adelaide United Youth. Overall, he's played 11 games so far this year for all competitions, including the under-18s with FSA and Adelaide United Youth reserves. Ball comes in, and it's a loose one that West Adelaide can deal with. Oliveira just settles to play it to a little bit of space, and Monga's happy enough to get there and pick up the loose ball. Back with West Adelaide again. A bit heavy on that touch was Golan. Finds Odenwalder. Gets beyond Blazovic, and eventually it's Ivanic that finds himself charging down the wing. He's got a couple of red shirts to get through. He's got his hands full, figuratively and literally. And the free kick goes the way of Adelaide United. "40 minutes in, and I can imagine that we're probably going to have a little bit of time added on to the end of this 45, given the amount of stop-start that we've had. The game certainly seems to be heating up at the moment as Banjak comes in to claim that. So goes yet again, and this time it's one of the Adelaide United boys finding his feet. I believe that might be Long, and another player getting a bit of a talking to from the referee. Although we've probably got, well, it wouldn't surprise me if we've got another 10 minutes to play. What will the second half bring for us? Will we see another little bit of an increase in temperature of this game? Will things start to flow a little bit more as they were maybe during the first 20 minutes or so of this affair? Blazovic, or Stan rather, the eventual play to get the foot to it, but it goes over the crossbar. Captain Jackson O'Donnell with another goal kick. just sends it long, and I think on that occasion it was Ivanic that was maybe getting slightly manhandled. Monga just managed to get that past Ivanic and Blažević. Certainly feeling an intense game here though, little pushes and shoves all around the place at the moment. Stam steps off and says, "Water, you take this." Gets the ball into Shrestha, but comes in strongly, and Adelaide United can reclaim it. Bottom down that right-hand side, looking for Liam Stam, who's got the pace, but not enough to get ahead of Fabrizio. Adelaide United still end up the beneficiary of a loose ball, but now it's going back the other way once more. Looks like the player on the ground is going to receive a little bit of a treatment. It's Fazo Kasumovic. Actually, they haven't called over any trainers to have a look at him. He's going to continue. We're going to have a corner the way of West Adelaide as we approach the 45-minute mark. The referee's just having a quick chat to a couple of Adelaide United players at the minute. Hard to give either side any sort of height advantage at the moment because both have a little bit of tall timber. Kasumovic is there, Ivanic. Ivanic that eventually got the foot to it, but it's cleared by United. It goes all the way back to Jackson O'Donnell. Sent long and Sesko comes out calmly and confidently, puts it out of play. Water applying the pressure, but it goes out for an Adelaide United throw-in. His Stam. Nicola. Nice move from Grelly just to fake the body movement and then turn around and escape out the back door. He's long. West Adelaide win it back. Long ball. Ivanic would have been the target, but surrounded by three players in red. Got Liam Stam making another little dash, and Walter opts to try win that early. Liam Stam still gets a second go at it. Has the assistance of Blažević. Here's Grelly. getting involved again. Monga finds Grelly. Short ball to Battistella and dive from Jackson O'Donnell, who denies the shot. Cameron Long was in a dangerous position, but not able to capitalise. It stays 1-1 as we approach the 48-minute mark. United content to keep running deep into this half and just make sure West Adelaide are never really comfortable enough to build it out from the back. Nice little slip ball from Shrestha. Here's Ivanic, and we're 2-1 for the home team. Just shy of half time. And a bit of a thud on the roof just above us as well, as part of the celebration. Huge from West Adelaide. Found themselves down in the 8th minute mark in the 31st. Thanks to Riley Stamp, they found himself equalising. And now, at this stage, deep in the half, Ivanic gets his name on the board. Now it'll be up to Adelaide United to respond. When we started the game, probably for the first 30 minutes or so, it looked like it was West Adelaide doing the chasing. It seemed to shift the momentum of this game by being dangerous on the counter. Since then, Adelaide United have just been struggling to win back that early momentum. And it's been West Adelaide who have capitalised on 2 different occasions. Ivanic just looks so content to throw his weight around when he comes forward. Just ticked over the 5-minute mark of time added. As we said, moments of being quite stop-start and a few different players going down at various points, so may still be a couple of minutes to go yet. Odenwald has just been pulled up for trying to gain a couple of yards. Sends it just over the top of Stamp. Well, Nicola's just trying to keep Ivanic at bay before Odenwald comes in and puts it out of play. And there it is for the half. Well, a pretty nice crowd here on a Sunday night at Kilburn Sportsplex, and they've been treated to an entertaining game thus far. Just to recap the action, Fabian Talladera getting us off the mark in the 8th minute to put Adelaide United's nose in front. 31st minute is when Riley Stamp equalised for the home side. And then the 49th minute, Maxim Ivanic puts West Adelaide 1 up at home. Time for us to have a quick break now. We'll catch you for the second half shortly.
Yo guys, you seen this? It's coming.
What do you want about?
Bro, it's actually coming.
No way!
FSA World Champs.
You guys have been asking, we listened. The FSA World Champs is coming. This school holidays, we're bringing the world stage to Adelaide. Here's the breakdown. From 11s to 17s and everyone in between. 10 players, 1 squad. Lock them in before someone else does. Sign up, get your country and represent your nation. Nominations are open now, but don't sleep on it. Spots are limited.
For over 25 years, HPG Homes have been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. We're committed to quality, affordability and creating a way of life for you and your family. Fixed price turnkey. It's gotta be HPG. HPG Homes.
I just want to make an impact.
Hop in.
Where are we going?
There are so many career paths with SAPOL, from operations to CSI. You could walk the beat or work somewhere a little quieter. If you want to make a difference, there's a career at SAPOL for you.
Hey, it's going to be all right.
Call up the search.
Find where you belong in blue. Search SAPOL Careers.
At Service FM, we know every workplace is different. Every challenge is unique. That's why we personalise our services to our customers' different needs across different industries. From medical to mining and manufacturing, hospitality to healthcare, commercial to defence. So when you need to create a better work environment, you need Service FM. Proud partner with Football South Australia.
Stayed on side, looking to put it across, deflected, and it's still alive. Turns Vidmar, and Dorigo now tries to shoot. Still going. Welsh puts the ball in, and there's the goal. Who else but George Blackwood? We can't get this goal scorer wrong. He's done it 10 times.
think the thing that most people don't realise about being a referee is how much we train. We often train twice a week as a group. Then we have coaching sessions where we go through videos and look back at past few weeks. And then any of the outside of training stuff that we do, like our gym work and watching matches back and all that, all the extra time outside of match days are the big things for us. What makes it more than just blowing a whistle is understanding football and all the different layers of football, and then adding on top of that, that we then have to be impartial and understand the emotion of football, and then find that balance between understanding the emotion and then understanding the laws. I've had a few grand finals that I've been lucky to be a part of, and in those kind of games with the crowds and the energy, I can just tell that the football match that's going on is so entertaining, and that I'm lucky to have one of the best seats in the house for it.
For over 25 years, HPG Homes have been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. We're committed to quality, affordability and creating a way of life for you and your family. Fixed price, turnkey. It's gotta be HPG. HPG Homes.
Adelaide wakes up with 5AA, David Penberthy and Will Goodings, Tom Wren for sport, Jade Robran on the scene as it happens, Jess Adamson with the news that matters to Adelaide, Breakfast with David and Will, bringing together the names you trust with everything you need to know to start your day. Always live, always local and only on 5AA, always Adelaide.
So the Youth Club Championship, we've designed a structure where the under 13s, under 14s, under 15s and 16s all compete together as one club. They'll play at the same venue, they'll play one after each other. It allows the technical director to be at the venue to help educate and look after the coaches, and also there's a focus on player development.
Players are now knowing where they are at and the pathway to follow each year. If they continue with the YCC, they should be in a position where they can go into senior football. It's a lot clearer around the steps they need to take to keep tracking as a player.
We've created an additional YCC training session or seminar night. All the players involved had the opportunity to do an extra additional skills session development plan, and we had Adrian Stanter coming in to talk about how to become a more professional player from a younger age.
The fact that as a club we are investing heavily in the juniors to ensure that we're putting those tools in place that the YCC is wanting from us, that's certainly bringing around some benefits to the club and to junior development across the board.
Everyone's trying to obtain points for their club, but also with a strong focus on how do we create a competition where players can play against like players.
The one thing I have noticed is it's been a bit more focused on getting the balance right. So, you know, trying to keep the best teams playing against each other throughout the entire year and not having this big disparity between one team or another, one club or another.
So what it has allowed us to do is have quality games every week, which has benefited the competition and given the girls a chance to sort of understand what it's like to play at that elite level. While development is a good focus, the YCC does bring out the aspect of results as well, which helps find that balance for players to transition to senior football.
So I think with the YCC structure now in place, there's become a better level. And with a better level, there's been higher intensity within our sessions, and that's allowed for greater development in terms of a player, technically, tactically, and that's given them the best chance to keep improving their game.
Yeah, look, I think there's certainly brought around a lot of excitement to the club on YCC Day. The club's buzzing. A lot of the parents and players really enjoy seeing the kids play, and what is really now an elite pathway in junior football in our state.
Something that resonated with me right on the onset was about connecting a budding footballer with the right coach with the right club, and the right club being part of the right football environment. So the YCC tells me that this has been a fantastic implementation by Football South Australia.
Still in the box, and it's another goal!
Welcome back to the second half at Kilburn Sportsplex. Round 13 of the RAA National Premier League, South Australia, West Adelaide and Adelaide United. 2-1 the scoreline going into the break. We saw West Adelaide, actually it was Adelaide United who got off the mark first. West Adelaide equalised, and then just before the break, West Adelaide went up, giving the home fans something to cheer about as they went into the break. During the first half, Adelaide United came out strongly, dictated most of the tempo for about the first 25 minutes or so. Then West Adelaide just really brought up the fight from there. Were able to get that equaliser, then eventually even find their nose just in front. Now, yeah, fair to say that it's going to be Adelaide United that have to come up with something different in response in this second half. As the cross comes in, bounces off the post, and way to bring the pressure early. The flag goes up though, it will be a free kick. Only took 8 minutes to get off the mark in the first half for Adelaide United. Looked for a moment there like it was going to be a very quick response to put them back on equal terms. Just to recap on the goal scorers, it was Fabian Taladera that scored the first. Riley Stam that responded. And then Maxim Ivanic that did the damage in around about the 48th minute. Here's Monga. Bombs it down the line looking for Liam Stam, who's notched up plenty of Ks in the first half. Sends the cross in. Found the head of Riyadh, but ends up going over the top. So a couple of very early chances for Adelaide United. Probably come out for this second half a little bit more clinical than they looked in the first. Liam Stam just finding those crosses that he was looking for. Now West Adelaide opt to go short initially in playing that out. Odenwalder goes up. Manuel Nicola ends up entangled with him. Blazovic, the shirt pull from the West Adelaide player pursuing him, and that won't go unnoticed. It will be a free kick. Bit of a crowd around referee Jaden Betterman. Four-man wall just being positioned, and Grelly and Taladera are the two players over this at the moment. I'm going to say it's Taladera that's going to take. Maybe Grelly oversold it. Grelly does take it, and ends up taking a deflection from the wall. They will get a corner. Good crowd for a Sunday night standalone fixture at Kilburn Sportsplex. As I said in the first half, I'm getting whispers that a name change is imminent, but I haven't been given the all clear to talk about as of yet, but some news to watch. Thanks to everyone tuned in from their warm living rooms at home or from holiday abroad that's joined us tonight. of heads from West Adelaide get to it, but looks like it's eventually going to be Adelaide United that break loose. But no, he'll go out for another throw-in. Here's Nicola. Blažević back to Nicola. So Blažević is dispossessed now. It's a stand that gives Monga a big reminder that he's there. Now it's Adelaide United on the break yet again. Last couple of crosses been good, just trying to work a little bit of space open. Here's Grelly. Finds its way to Taladzira, the opening goal scorer. And D'Oliveira comes in and strongly takes it from Blažević. Taladzira again. It's Grelly, who would have been hoping for a little bit of a highlight reel flick there. Not to beat. It was Rahidi, just to correct myself. Now it goes out for a throw-in for West Adelaide United. Free kick taken quickly by Adelaide United, but the referee says no. Taladzira plays it back to Monga. Ivanic has made his presence known up front for West Adelaide today. Will that continue in the second half? Cross comes in, and Jackson O'Donnell scrambles to claim that. So the early run of play in the second half going the way of Adelaide United, which was the case in the first half as well before West Adelaide were able to wrestle things back to their terms. Skasumovic to Grelly, back to Monga. Israel Monga, one of the new faces for Adelaide United this year. He's come across from Western United. One of the players that have found himself without a home. He played his junior football at Wagondha Heart in Victoria. Here's Taladzira. Chip just straight into the chest of D'Oliveira, but like a chance was on for about a second there for Battistella. This is the sort of pressure that Adelaide United had in the first half, not letting West Adelaide play it out with any comfort or flow. Round 13 of the RAA National Premier League South Australia. Chat to a local who backs you and your team. It's better to be a member with RAA. And about 7 minutes in on the One World LED and Sportal System scoreboard for all your indoor and outdoor LED solutions. West Adelaide coming off a loss last week to Adelaide City at home as Rahidi centres it. Here's Rahidi again. Ends up panicking just to keep the ball in and ends up with one of his opposites. Maxim comes in over the top of Grelly and finds Shrestha. Here's Ivanic muscling his way through traffic once again. A little bit of appeal from Adelaide United, but he managed to use the physicality of some success in the first half, so can't blame Ivanic for using that cheat code. That is his size and strength, especially given some much smaller and younger bodies belong to these Adelaide United players. Here's Rahidi again. Ball back to Taladira. That takes a deflection on the way in. O'Donnell comes in, punches it away. Battistella just trying to make it land for a shot. Takes a deflection from Conagol on the way in, and it will be another corner kick. Just to briefly revisit the point of form. West Adelaide just struggling to find at the moment. They've had some close games against some quality opposition. They've had a lot of draws. Meanwhile, Adelaide United seem to be coming into a little bit of form. A draw last week at home against Playford, holding them to a clean sheet. Consecutive wins the weeks before to West Torrens Bacalla, huge result, and also to Para Hills. It's an interesting take of the corner. Monga charges through and gets a foot to it, but West Adelaide eventually able to clear it. It's going to be Nicola that gets to it, plays it to Laris Sesko, one of the players that came to this Adelaide United lineup, one of the 3 changes for this game tonight. 17 years of age is that young keeper for Adelaide United. They're just battling, but doesn't have the speed to get to that. In Adelaide United, goal kick taken very short. Rahidi is a player that we didn't speak a whole lot in the first half, given he wasn't on the opposite side, but now we're getting a bit of a closer look at that work he's doing on the wing. We did have a bit of a closer look at Blazovic on the opposite wing when United were going from left to right. I think he has had a slightly better start to this half than he did in the first, just a little bit more clinical, especially with those couple crosses that he sent in. But it seems like West Adelaide have withstood that initial 5 or so minute onslaught. Blazovic breaks through. He's long. Taladira. Sent out of danger by West Adelaide. Ivanic stalking Maluel Nicola like he was for the latter parts of that first half. Cross comes in from United, but it's Alex Banjak who gets the head to it. Now Adelaide United will go. It looks like they were going to go all the way back to Sesko. Fazo Kazumovic sold it well. Now it's Riley Stam on the break. He's got Kazumovic to get past, centres it. It's put way over by Maxim Ivanic, who'll be absolutely kicking himself for missing that one. Very nearly Matt could have made it his second from tonight. Not just yet, and we remain at 2-1. Just shy of the hour mark. 58 minutes gone on the One World LED and Sportal System scoreboard for all your indoor and outdoor LED solutions. There's Alex Battistella with a bit of a fight on his hands. Played back to Olden Walder, who tries to play that diagonal onto the path of Riley Stam, but it's Kazumovic that gets between them. Nicola goes back to Monga. There's that ball to find Stam again, and Nicola on the overlap. Decides to take a bit more time with the build-up. Blazovic. West Adelaide holding their ground well at the moment, but Adelaide United just overloading that right side wing. Well, things were starting to heat up in the closing minutes of the first half. It's cooled down a little bit on the pitch since they've both come out, but I'd imagine we may see some emotion re-emerge yet. Both Stam and Grelly both misjudged that one. Now it's with Kasumovic. Goes back to Sesko. Stam stalking. Taladera. Rahidi with a nice ball. To Blazovic, but he goes straight back. A little bit of a shake of the head of frustration from the United player there. Again, Ivanic seems to be using his physicality to pretty good effect. West Adelaide will be desperate both to gain a little bit of momentum in terms of their performances and picking up points, but also to make up for the result that didn't go their way a little bit earlier in the year. Round 7 at Cooper Stadium, Adelaide United getting that 4-0 win. Quite a few players in that squad though that aren't featuring here tonight, including the goal scorers in Garuccio and Tatu. Kuzman is here tonight, albeit on the bench, and Monga is on at the moment. There were the two other goal scorers on that occasion. Rahidi comes in, but he's cut off by Luka Dobrovolsky. Chance for Adelaide United youth to climb the ladder with a win today. If they do pick up 3 points tonight, Adelaide United will be able to jump Playford City in the standings, but as it stands on the live ladder at the moment as they trail, they'll remain in 5th, just where they started, and not breaking clear of FK Beergrade, which is the other side of what's up for grabs today. West Adelaide, as they stand at the moment, 3 points will let them jump in tonight, just ahead of Sturt Lions. Their partner in coming up to the RAANPLSA at the end of the last year. Elsewhere this weekend, we saw Adelaide City get a 4-1 win against Sturt Lions on Friday night. West Torrens Bacalla hosted Croydon and went away from that with a 1-0 win. Then Saturday, Campbelltown hosted Para Hills, took a 3-0 win. And Playford City hosted Adelaide Comets, 2-2. And then a little bit later that night, FK Beergrade hosted Metro Stars, and Metro got a 2-1 win away in that year. So as it stands at the moment, West Torrens Bacalla, Metro Stars, Adelaide City, Playford City, Adelaide United Youth, FK Beergrade make up the top 6 in that order. Campbelltown, Croydon, West Adelaide, if they hold on to the lead today, followed by Sturt Lions. Then at the bottom, Adelaide Comets and Para Hills in that relegation zone. little delay here looks a little bit more serious than perhaps we first noted. Looks like the young Reds are preparing a change as well. Getting ready to come on is number get your confirmation in a moment when my screen works. Number 46, Ali Motashami, who comes on, the down player. I'll get your confirmation of who that is as soon as I can. But probably a little bit concerningly, looks like a bit of a shoulder injury just from the body language I'm reading at the moment, that left shoulder. If you're at home watching on FSA Leagues, that's one of the great things about that. You can go back and have a bit of a look at that. In fact, you can catch up with all the action from the weekend at FSA Leagues on YouTube. All the way from the HPG State League homes, State League 1, to the Apex Steel WMPLSA. Of course, we have the Apex Steel WMPL WSL Cup semi-finals yesterday. That was at the Summit. Great day. We saw a little bit of a mixed bag in terms of games played. West Adelaide getting a big 8-1 win against Mowbray Vista. That was the first one. And then Adelaide Comets and West Torrens Bacalla took us all the way to 120 minutes with a 1-1 draw. And it was West Torrens Bacalla that prevailed on penalties. So that Apex Steel WMPL WSL Cup final is set and will be between West Adelaide and West Torrens Bacalla. Now I can confirm that the player that has gone on to the bench for Adelaide United is Alex Battistella. He's still receiving a little bit of treatment there on the bench, which is maybe an initial positive sign that he hasn't gone straight down to the tunnel. Jackson O'Donnell sends it long. Now, it was following a couple of stoppages that it seemed West Adelaide started to run away with things in the first half. Will this have a similar effect again, or will it be a bit of a moment for Adelaide United to reset and come back out from that with a similar intensity that they came out with during the first 15 minutes or so of this game, or even in the first 10 minutes of this second half? Monga bangs it down the middle to Long. West Adelaide intercepted, it's Stam, it goes back. Oh, that's a loose ball that's picked up by the sub. Stam not able to get past the defender and it goes out. It'll be a goal kick. Now it looks like West Adelaide are going to be preparing a sub next. And I believe it's going to be Eduardo Castaneda that will come on. And there's the change. '68th minute. Keshav Shrestha will come off. Had a fast and furious first half, but since we had the little stoppage here, the brakes have been put on this game a little bit. But we're just nudging 70 minutes in. And Adelaide United have some chasing to do yet. West Adelaide setting up for the free kick. It's going to be the Brazilian Diego dos Santos de Oliveira that will take it. Sends it in, he's got runners in, but finds the head of one of the Adelaide United players. And West Adelaide will play all the way back before banging it back forward into a hot zone, but it will be offside. Ball over the top. West Adelaide will let go all the way back to their captain in Jackson O'Donnell. Plays it down the left-hand side to find Odenwalder. Oliveira dispossessed momentarily there by Blazovic, but now just a little bit of a scramble to get things back. That passage, Adelaide United just getting back to that press that they utilised early. Ball flicked through to Montishami. Jackson O'Donnell judges it well, comes in to save. Interesting couple of weeks coming up for these sides. West Adelaide will face Comets away. There's a few people from Comets here. We saw a bit of a delegation in their Comets tracksuits out to have a bit of a look at what to expect. Comets, of course, need to pick up points at the moment. They're in ninth spot after the draw that they had against Playford City. West Adelaide, as well as Sturt Lions, one of the teams that I'd love to close the gap on a little bit. After that, West Adelaide will host Croydon before travelling away to Steve Woodcock as shot comes from distance. That won't trouble Sesko too much for Adelaide United. So despite Comets playing yesterday, they've already looking ahead to next week, and when they'll host West Adelaide, I believe that'll be Friday night doubleheader as well. West Adelaide and Adelaide Comets in the Women's Stakes will be a very high quality game, no doubt. Substitution now for Adelaide United, their second. It's Taladera that has come off, and coming on, number 73, Jacob Cabazo. It's not a play that we've seen a whole lot of Cabazo. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Shot comes in for West Adelaide, goes over the top. A chance to inflict some further damage on Adelaide City. Goes begging. Just go back to the topic of Adelaide United's latest change. Jacob Cabazo been playing mainly in the reserves. He's played 13 games, started 9 so far in 2026. An 18-year-old Congolese player, and he scored 6 goals so far this year as well. Adelaide United on the march. Attempt from Stam to send it in, but goes out. They'll try to create something from the corner now. Just about to tick over 75 minutes on the One World LED and Sportable System scoreboard for all your indoor and outdoor LED solutions. Speaking of which, I hear that there's going to be a new scoreboard coming soon to Kilburn Sportsplex. Monga just trying to break through traffic in Maxim Ivanic. And eventually West Adelaide managed to clear. Find that safety of the sideline for now. Just going back to the point I earlier made. I do hear from Nicole Blackett, captain of the West Adelaide's women's team, who are on the march at the moment. Perfect record with all wins from their season so far. She's looking forward to the new scoreboard here as well. And as we mentioned in the first half too, naming of this facility as well. So it's all happening at West Adelaide at the minute. And last week was a standout fixture as they hosted Adelaide City for the first of the original rivalry derbies here at Kilburn. McDonald wasn't pretty, but he got the job done. They're in the whole mix up there. One of the Adelaide United players have gone to ground. We already had Stella come off a little bit earlier. And now another player receives treatment, is still laid out flat on their back, so this could be another little bit of a concern if it's an unplanned substitution for Adelaide United. West Adelaide just having a quick moment to have a quick meeting with the bench. Stam, Ivanic, De Oliveira. I believe that's the top of Connor Golan's head that I'm looking at. All having a quick chat. And Adelaide United players have just gone in for a quick drink as well. Looks like the down player in the meantime has come to his feet. I'll tell you who that is in the moment. Look like they'll be okay to continue, but of course they'll have to wait till they're waved on by the referee, who is Jaden Benneman this evening. His assistant refs Nick Elligan and Jackson Carmen. All over the top. Ivanic evades Kasimovic and chips the keeper. And it's 3-1 for West Adelaide. In the 78th minute, Maxim Ivanic says, thank you very much. We'll take that 2-goal lead. Now West Adelaide, the task is to see out the rest of this game. There's been some heartbreaking goals coming late against them in recent weeks. They won't want that to come back and haunt them again. All over the top, looking for Rahidi. It's cut off and bomb forward. Apparently that went out a little bit closer to West Adelaide's defensive end. Points would be absolutely massive for West Adelaide here tonight. And put them just above Sturt Lions and in the mix with the teams that are currently in 6th, 7th and 8th. If they take 3, they will go up to 16. Croydon and Campbelltown are just above them on 17. And FK Beergrad, who are in the bottom position of the 6 on 18 at the moment. So a win tonight, put themselves within 3 points of that top 6. That'll be absolutely massive. And in terms of those upcoming games, they do face Croydon and Campbelltown inside of the next 3 weeks. So a 6-pointer type game. Taking this lead through to 90 minutes would be huge for West Adelaide tonight. The spot fires continue. The pitch at the moment. Oliveira flicks it over his head, then turns around to get another touch on it. Ends up being a loose ball that Manuel Nicola will play on, then try get on the end of a 1-2 off. West Adelaide win it back. Now they'll try to launch something of their own. Short-lived though. Here come United against. And it will be a West Adelaide goal kick. Double substitution to come now for Adelaide United. Another couple of unfamiliar faces. Declan Cooper Dambuki. That one might have to wait actually. But number 47, Mutsa Mapandawana, has just come on. Sumovic battling with Imovic. Ivanic rather. And it's Blazovic that clears. We'll talk a little bit more about the sub that's just come on. Mutsa Mapandawana, 18-year-old Zimbabwean, who's appeared in 16 games across all competitions so far this year. He started 12, and it's been across NPL reserves, and the Australia Cup, Federation Cup reserves as well, and he has scored 7 goals throughout all those campaigns as well. There's so many names on the fringe of this Adelaide United squad. Any minute that these sorts of players can get are absolutely massive to earn the attention of Paul Vanis and the staff. West Adelaide just setting up for a free kick. Probably about 40 yards out, but they set up the ball, goes over the top, and the 16-year-old Laris Sesko in goals for Adelaide United tonight. Dives, although it does go wide. Sumovic chooses the right-hand side. They're trying to single-handedly manage the whole Adelaide United midfield at the moment. And they go back to Monga. to Kazumovic as he goes right again. And that was one of the subs that we mentioned a little bit earlier, who I can tell you is on the pitch now. It's number 85 in Declan Cooper, the Buki. Another corner, 85th minute. Chance for Adelaide United to put the pressure on West Adelaide. Hopefully try and reduce the deficit. But West Adelaide at the moment will be very happy with what they've presented so far tonight. Came back from being 1 goal down in just the 8th minute. Thanks to Fabian Taladera. It was Riley Stam that got one back in the 31st before Maxim Ivanic found the back in the 49th just before time, and then again in the 78th. Another one now from West Adelaide will be huge to try stitch things up for round 13. Then of course they'll turn their attention to next week in Comets, who are desperate to get out of that relegation zone. Comets have found a little bit of form in recent weeks. They've got 9 points at the moment. A draw this round, lost the round before. Then 2 wins and a draw in the 3 weeks preceding that. So still a little bit of chasing to do to get out of that relegation zone. But every match really important for them at the moment. So when they host West Adelaide next week, it won't be a simple task. Meanwhile, Adelaide United youth will host Adelaide City. And we're starting to see the fireworks start happening in front of us. Blazovic and Taladera just pleading their case with Jaden Benjamin. Play eventually resumes. Another corner the way of Adelaide United. Unfortunately for United, without a point tonight, does make things a little bit difficult in chasing down Playford City. Above them on 23 points at the moment. If they don't take any tonight, they'll remain on 19. So even if they do get results against Adelaide City, they'll remain in 5th, so still a little bit of climbing to do. Now here's West Adelaide on the break. It's Ivanic. Players pursuing him and wasted his time in the end. Ends up going out via West Adelaide corner. Even though he's bagged 2 already so far tonight, Ivanic will maybe be trying to seek a little bit of a redemption after that. He exchanged a couple of words with Riley Stam following that. I'm not sure if there was some sort of miscommunication between the two, because Ivanic sort of crossed a cross goal with that as well, when could have gone direct and just saved a little bit of time and not given the United players that were in pursuit of him time to catch up. So perhaps he was waiting for that reinforcement, but ultimately found himself leaving that little one empty-handed. Simopoulos got a little bit of a tag team wrestling match happening by that corner flag at the moment. The sum of it all, though, it will be a West Adelaide free kick. Dos Santos de Oliveira Shows off his flair with a little chip, but the finish not quite so highlight reel worthy. They do win a corner though. Over 90 minutes now on the One World LED and Sportal System scoreboard for all your indoor and outdoor LED solutions. Looked like for a moment there, West Adelaide might have been content to see out the rest of the game in that little couple of square metres of pitch, but now we're back underway. And Adelaide United continue their pursuit of that 2-goal deficit. You'd think at this moment, probably a bit too much of a task for them. Although I'd love to pull off a shot, pick up 3 points to put pressure on that top 4 and break West Adelaide's heart as they try to string together some form. Monga. Mapanzawana goes to ground. Another free kick to West Adelaide, and a couple of Adelaide United players just trying to give West Adelaide the hurry on, but seems any little delay or fight for the ball just seems to be taking away the attention of the referee and just letting the clock tick down further. And now one of those players is going to get a quick little word from the referee. Bangs it long, and Stam goes up for it. Now it's Gollan. Doesn't quite manage to get it under control, but he'll get a chance to regain it here. Does. Shot from outside, that goes well over the crossbar. It will continue to eat some time, which will be good enough for West Adelaide this moment. 92 minutes and change now gone in this final fixture of round 13 of the RAA National Premier League South Australia. United break and a sliding tackle wins it cleanly without beckoning the whistle. Having said that though, it looks like the West Adelaide players got the worst of it and has gone down. At least that's the way it appears. Keep in mind, any time used at this moment will only favour West Adelaide. Nice of the referee to aid in stretching out a cramp. So just to reiterate the ladder situation, given the likelihood that West Adelaide are going to hold on here, you'll see the home side climb to 9th on 16 points. Croydon and Campbelltown in 7th and 8th. Just above them on 17th. FK Beergrad on 18. How massive for West Adelaide, given just a few weeks ago some were talking about the likelihood of West Adelaide slipping into those relegation sort of places. Now all of a sudden, if they string a couple of wins together, they'll be knocking on the door of that top 6. Still plenty of work to be done though, to be fair. Change now for West Adelaide. It's Socrates Singari that comes on. Haven't quite managed to get a look at the play that's gone down. Either way, they're getting further attention. So they're just stretching out a cramp, and given we're getting close to the end, that might be where they stay for the rest of this match. Almost 95 minutes gone in the second half. So there's a bit of a battle just to get onto the edge of this ball for West Adelaide. They've come on top of the physical battles so far tonight. As Fabrizio comes in to play that ball to O'Donnell. Now it's Kasumovic. Ball comes in, looking for Long, and it's cleared by West Adelaide. Here's Blazovic. First 2-3 West Adelaide players unable to stop him. Eventually he goes out. Adelaide United throw in. Looks like one final change for West Adelaide. It's going to be Dion Kirk that comes on wearing the number 10. Riley Stam can call it a night with a bit of an applause from the crowd just above him. That goal to add to his tally, the one that equalised in the 31st minute, puts his tally for the league so far at 6. Ivanic, of course, goes from 9 to 11 after his brace tonight. De Oliveira hoping to deny Adelaide United something late. United still just pouring it on at the moment, but there's the final whistle and we're all done. The crowd at Kilburn Sportsplex have something to cheer about. A 3-1 win against the in-form Adelaide United. They'll be hoping that they can take on some of that recent gusto they've had and claim their own. First goal came in the 8th minute from Fabian Taladera. Equaliser coming from Riley Stam from West Adelaide in the 31st. It was Maksim Ivanic that struck just before half-time, and then again in the 78th minute. And then West Adelaide were able to hold on to full-time. So with that, West Adelaide finished the round, jumping one place into 9th. Adelaide United Youth finish in 5th. And that brings round 13 of the RAA National Premier League South Australia to a close. It's been Simon Jimenez keeping you company, and we'll catch you midweek for the Cup fixtures. Jump onto FSA tickets to pick up your tickets to that. We'll catch you then.